What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy back from Budget Dad Barbecue and Brewing. St. Patrick's Day is almost upon us, and I've never done this before, but I thought let's take this opportunity to try to smoke a corned beef brisket. I've never done this before, so you'll be coming along with us to see how this goes. Over the course of the past few days, I've been looking at multiple recipes online, YouTube videos, so I probably looked at upwards of 10 to 20 different methods. One is more of a seasoned, drier meat, almost like a pastrami. And the second is one that is more of like a classic, moist, falling apart type brisket. Since I've never done this before and I really don't have any big goal in mind, I think I'm just going to do some experimentation based off of some temperatures that I've seen on videos and recipes, and we'll just go from there. So we're going to take you on this ride, and let's get started. We'll show you what we got. So what we have here is a Kroger point cut corned beef brisket. We got this at our local Fred Meyer, and as you can see, we got a solid deal on it. We saved $15 and paid $13 overall for around 4.5 pounds. Turning it around, overall it looks like a corned beef brisket. I've never put one of these things on the Kamado before or smoked them, so really looking forward to seeing how this goes. First things first, I'm going to cut a hole in the corner and we're going to drain this into the sink, and I'm going to pat it dry and put it back onto the table. So I've seen a few videos where people want to pull the salt out of the meat because remember, this is a hypertonic solution, super salty. So people will put that in a hypotonic or normal water and put it in the fridge overnight or maybe even longer in order to pull out the salt. I don't want to do that today. I've seen a lot of people who don't do that, and I personally just think that the meat looks dead and gross, and now it's completely bogged down with water. So I'm not knocking anybody who does that, and maybe that's the way to go, and I'll learn a lesson from this being too salty, and I'll try it. But for right now, for the first time, I really don't want to soak my meat in water if I don't absolutely have to. Let's go ahead and start with the base. Today I'm going to be using my Sierra Nevada Pale Ale Mustard, and we're going to throw that down right now. All right, so we've got that covered. Remember, these are chock full of salt already, so there is no reason to add any additional salt. However, with that said, I will be finishing this off with a little bit of barbecue rub, but I'm not going to use a ton. So our three main ingredients today are going to be black pepper, then we're going to douse it with celery seed, and then we're going to finish off with just a little Grill Mates standard barbecue rub. Let's start with the pepper. All right, we're done with that. Now, let's go to the celery seed. Let's go ahead and give it a last dash of barbecue seasoning. Voila, we are done with the seasoning. So while that's resting, I'm going to go ahead and fire up my Vision Grill. I'm going to get the temperature to about maybe 350 or so, 325, and I'm going to lay it on and see how long it's going to take to get a bark on there. Once I get that bark on it, I'm going to bring it back inside. I'm going to wrap it in foil, and I'm going to use about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of beef consomme. And that should help lock in the moisture so that this thing doesn't completely dry out. So this, I guess you can say, is more of a hot and fast method, but I'm not going to crank up temperatures to 400 degrees because of how salty this beef is. I've got a feeling that if I get it that hot, everything's just going to leak out and it's going to become a big, tough, dry piece of meat. And I don't want that. All right, so I'm going to do that right now, and we'll see you back here in a moment. All right, so we are rolling about 325 to 350. Here's my meat right now. Sorry about all the noise, but my neighbors are avid landscapers. I swear they chop down trees every single weekend. Let's crack this thing open, and let's put them on. I didn't trim these at all, you guys. I just... I know we might get some sort of burnt pieces here, but you know, again, this is really unlike any brisket I've ever done. So, okay, close it up so it doesn't get too hot, and we'll come back and see how that bark's doing. What's up, everybody? We are back. It's been around 2.5 hours. About 45 minutes ago, I checked on it and I spritzed it with a little apple cider vinegar and water. I could see that crust was starting to dry out a little bit, but so far it's looking pretty good. So I think we're ready to take it off the grill and to go ahead and wrap it in some foil and throw in some of that beef consomme. That's nice. Not too bad. Bark feels pretty good. So that's it for the wrap. At this point, we're just going to let this roll. As you can see, it was at 177 degrees internal temp. It might take a couple hours. I'm not sure exactly how long this thing is going to take to get to about, I'm going to say 205. I'm going to set the alarm for my probe to go off at that time. And when that alarm does go off, we'll come back out and we'll check it for doneness. Until that time, I'm going to get some things done around the house, pick up the garage a little bit because it needs some cleaning, and we'll see you back probably the next hour or two. What's up, everybody? We are back. I checked it a little while ago and it was at 2:05 and it just was not ready yet. However, it is hitting 2:12 right now and I think we are about done. It's about 4:30 right now, so this has been on total time about 4.5 hours. So let's take a look. Oh yeah. See, I checked it before when it was at 2:05, but this, I mean, that's like butter, literally. I mean, it just slides right in, zero resistance. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit more foil over these holes to make sure that they are not venting. We're going to let it rest for, I'd say, maybe an hour, hour and a half, and then we will cut into it and see what we got. This little baby has rested for about 1.5 hours. So we're ready to get into it. I'm excited about this. Again, I've never had anything like this before. Every single time we've done corned beef, it's been in the oven. So this is a brand new experience, but based off of the tenderness and the feel, when I took it off the Vision, I've got a feeling that this is gonna be completely falling apart. So let's take a look down here and see what we got. All right. I'm gonna transfer these off. Okay, I'm gonna save that juice because we are gonna make a gravy for mashed potatoes. I've got some German red cabbage that is sauteing right now. And I've got some creamy mashed potatoes with a little butter and a little cream cheese. And I think everything is gonna meld together real nice. Let's cut into this. I don't even know where to start. All right. I believe the grain is going this way. Okay, so far it's looking good. Okay, no smoke ring on this, but again, because of the salt, I wasn't 100% sure if the smoke ring was going to happen, but it definitely smells smoky and it is super tender. Let's try this one. That just falls right apart. Look at that. I mean, it's like butter. Look at, I mean, I barely even have to slide the knife. It just goes right through. I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely the more tender piece. This is still beautiful. I'm glad I didn't soak it in water and let that meat get nasty because you know what? It's salty. It's not crazy salty. I mean, I would consider this as really well seasoned and I think the salt matches nicely. To let that thing get all gray and nasty in my refrigerator for a night or two, get out of here. I'm not gonna do it. This is the way to do it, folks. Unless you're, you know, like on a cardiac diet or something like that. And then, yeah, go ahead and, well, at that point you probably shouldn't be eating this regardless, right? So I'm really glad that we did the celery seed on there. I think that went nice. The barbecue seasoning, I really can't taste a whole lot of that coming on, but I definitely taste that pepper. That coarse ground pepper is really, really nice with that meat. And then that celery seed comes through for sure. So I'm glad we did that. I would do this again. The barbecue rub, however, though, I could probably do without it. If I were to do this again, I would probably just leave out the barbecue. I go with pepper and celery seed. I think it turned out perfect. I would definitely do this again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned anything, if you were halfway entertained, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe for future content. If not, that's okay too. I'm not gonna judge you. I hope to see you next time. Take care.